Hi everyone, Robbie Werman here, and this is Rob's at the Movies. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 4K Ultra HD release of The Goonies. Now, this is one of my favorite films. It was always a favorite of mine growing up. Just to give a little bit of a plot summary, The Goonies is about a group of kids that want to prevent their homes from being taken away from a greedy real estate developer. Soon after, they discover a treasure map, which ultimately leads them on this quest to find this treasure that was hidden by One-Eyed Willie. And they're being chased by these fugitives through these underground tunnels and caves. It's a real family adventure film. It's so much fun to watch. I always get a kick out of it. Even watching it now, there are some jokes that I didn't catch the first time around. And it's got such a great cast that includes Sean Astin, Josh Brolin, Martha Plimpton, Joe Pantoliano, Jeff Cohen. So many great people, and they're all at 110%. It's so much fun to watch, and even the environments are so cool to look at. So that's why when I pre-ordered this, I immediately said to myself, wow, The Goonies would be perfect for this format. It's going to look fantastic. I can't wait to get my hands on it. This was coming out right next to Beetlejuice, and after checking out Beetlejuice and reviewing it, check out that review if you haven't seen it, that one was incredible and blew me out of the water. I mean, that movie is demo material for 4K. So I pop The Goonies in, and I start watching it, and I was immediately underwhelmed. So I don't know if it has to do with the original film elements, or if somebody got a little bit too excited with the noise removal, the DNR. It just, the shots, especially when they're outdoors and when it's really bright, the image looked really soft to me. And I actually thought the film looked better when they were going underground through the tunnels and the caves, and even the final scene on the pirate ship. Those scenes looked better to me than anything that came before it. And what was evident to me, I could tell that there was a lot of DNR because I couldn't really see any fine detail in the bright scenes like I saw with Beetlejuice. You could see really fine details that you hadn't noticed before. With this film, everything kind of had a sheen over it, and I couldn't really notice anything except for when the HDR really kicked in when they were in the underground tunnels and caves. That's when everything really started to show up for me. So, of course, this is just my opinion. Others might feel differently, but when I'm comparing this release to Beetlejuice, and even some other fantastic ones like The Shining and 2001: A Space Odyssey, this really falls short. So I don't know what happened. Maybe the film just wasn't a prime candidate for HDR like I thought it was going to be. That's very possible. But anyway, the film still holds up, but in terms of the actual 4K release, I can't quite say grab it if you're not a big fan of the film. If this is purely just to add to your collection and you're not a fan of the film, I wouldn't run to get it just yet. But if you're a fan, you might feel differently, and you might feel like this is the best The Goonies has ever looked, because you know what? It probably is the best the film has ever looked. And just like with the Beetlejuice 4K release, this doesn't include a remastered Blu-ray. I don't know why Warner Brothers decided to do this with both The Goonies and Beetlejuice, but they did. It's the old Blu-ray from years ago that includes a few special features, such as a Cyndi Lauper music video and a making of featurette. but there's nothing new. And the Blu-ray's not remastered, so when you're going to look at the Blu-ray release and the 4K release, it's going to be like night and day, apples and oranges, just like I said with the Beetlejuice release. So overall, I'd say I picked this up because I'm a major fan of the film, and I'm happy to add it to my collection. I felt like Warner Brothers could have done better with this, but as of now, this looks like this is the only release we're going to get, and it'll have to do. So, again, if you're a big fan of the film, pick it up. If you're not a huge fan of the film, maybe wait a little bit. Just coming from me. But I hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely check out my other reviews. I'm going to try and post as many as I can per week. I know I've been slacking. I feel awful about it. Times are crazy during this pandemic, but I'm really, really going to try and post more theatrical releases and more of these 4K Blu-ray reviews. I'm going to try my best, I promise. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all next time.